And he was like, oh, what are we gonna do now? And I'm like, I don't know. Are you allowed to park there, do you think?
No, we are not allowed to park.
That was so stressful. Hello and welcome to part 2 of my moving vlog. If you haven't seen part 1 yet and want to watch that first, I'll link it up in the cards. Ooh, it's gone dark. But otherwise, welcome to part 2. I've already said that. And please keep on watching if you want to know what happens to me during this move. So, update on the packing. I just finally removed my full-length mirror that I stuck on the wall with like this tape that was supposed to be very sticky but wouldn't harm the paint. But apparently it did. There's quite the damage on the top where I first started to like try and take it out. But I guess there's very minimal damage considering the length of the mirror. Hopefully I'll repair that with some paint. So anyway, yeah, it's taken out. Oh, and it's sticking. Yeah, here's some of the tape that I used to stick it on. Never again. That'll teach me. But I mean, it should have been common knowledge to not stick anything on the walls when you're renting, because otherwise you'd be paying for any damages. But hopefully I can cover it up. So far, so good. You can't even tell. Char. I think this will be the last bag. It's finally empty. Hello again. So in between transferring and importing clips into Premiere Pro, there was a glitch and I accidentally deleted all of the clips from the Monday. But if I remember right, it was basically just me speaking to you guys through a mirror like this, explaining that I had just booked the van on the Monday, ready for the move on Tuesday. And I went to sign the tenancy agreement and get the keys after work on that evening. And then I came home, laid in bed for 4 hours before actually starting to do some work at 10 p.m. Like finishing off the packing and stuff, because that's the kind of procrastinator I am. Then we finally move on to my actual moving day, Tuesday. So it's already 9:51 and I need to go down and save parking for the van that's coming. But I don't really know how to do that. Am I just gonna stand in a parking bay and just tell everyone I'm waiting for someone? I don't know, but I need to go down and check. They might be already there. This is now the corridor in the flat. This is outside the doorway. So false alarm, the movers called me when I was outside waiting for them to say that they're stuck in traffic and it's not going to be till 10:30, so it's just 10 o'clock. So I came back up and thought I would pack more things, but then I thought I'm coming back anyway, so just gonna relax because I'm tired AF. They're here. Hiya. Oh, so you're allowed to park there, do you think?
No, we are not allowed to park.
So guys, now I'm walking to the new place because I'm not allowed to ride with the movers because of COVID, so I had to make my own way by bus, and I'm walking and I'm tired, sis. I have a story time later for whatever happened to me like in the last hour. That was so stressful. Never thought that happened to me. Like, of all the things that could happen to me, of all the people it could happen to, it happened to me. That's the view. Am I in the right place? Yeah, I am. So the movers are actually already there, I think. So I have to be quick. See you guys.
Last box, yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
No worries, always welcome. Have a nice day now, yeah? Take care.
Take care. Sis, ano na, I can't cope. Whew. Meron pa here. Ta-dan, 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 ta-dan. So that's them. Sorry, but is this what moving in looks like? Send help, please. Okay, so this is the new room and everything's finally in here. I've just spoken to my mom and my dad about the whole move and about some other stuff. But going back to this morning, when I went down initially to check, because the movers were supposed to come at 10 o'clock, so I went down like 5 minutes to 10 to secure a parking spot for them because that's what the email said. But I couldn't find any vans. So I was waiting and I received a call to say that they're stuck in traffic and they're gonna be here at 10:30. So I went back up and chilled for a while because I was tired from all the packing. So they finally did call around 10:20. So I went down and they were already there. So yeah, things started picking up right away. They started coming up and then bringing stuff down. And in the middle of all that, I was trying to get things from inside my room to the hallway and then from the hallway to outside the door, because the email also said they're just there to do the move door to door, not actually go inside the property. So I stuck by that. I tried to get everything out of the door so they don't have to come into the flat, but in the end they kind of had to because I think I was too slow. But as I was saying, in the middle of all that, I was trying to get my printer and something else like outside of the door. I was just wearing my jumper. I didn't have my coat with me, I didn't have my phone, didn't have my key, so it was just me and the printer. Because I had no intention of going out, just literally put the printer outside the door and then come back in. But the thing with the doors in that flat is they're quite heavy, and if you don't put a door stopper, it's just gonna bang shut. So that's what happened to me. I was literally trying to hold the door open with my foot, while I was setting down the printer on the floor, but I couldn't do it, and then the door just suddenly banged shut. Me on the outside, without my keys, without my cards, no cash, and without my phone. And one of the movers just looked at me like, what happened? I'm like, oh, I shut myself out. And he was like, oh, what are we gonna do now? And I'm like, I don't know. I did not know what to do, sis. No one else was in the flat because Tita Dina was out, so it was just me. No one would open the door for me. So I went down and sat on the main door to the building, thinking of what to do. So I asked the movers if they could like give me a lift to where Tita Dina was. Cause girl, I didn't have any cash. I didn't have my cards, I didn't have my oyster to get on the bus. I was thinking I could walk, but then it would take too long and it would be so stressful. But then I realized we live next door to a cab company. So I went in there and tried to explain to the guy at the desk that I live next door and that I was moving. The movers are here, so they were in the middle of moving everything when I suddenly shut myself out. And he thought, because I think I was rambling and taking too long to get to the point, he thought that I wanted them to come up and open the door for me. But that would mean like breaking the lock. I didn't want that. So I went on with the story and asked him if he could book me a cab to go to Tita Dino, borrow his keys, and then come back. And then if he'd be able to do that with me not paying until I came back, went upstairs and got my cards. Thankfully, he was able to do it. And I was like, oh, thank God. I was so tense and anxious that I just wanted to ask him, have you booked it? Have you booked it? Is he far away? Is he coming? But yeah, the taxi driver did come eventually. And then he drove me all the way to East Ham, waited for me to borrow the keys from Tito Dino and come back and finally get on with the move. In that cab ride going to East Ham, I was so anxious that Tito Dino might not even be there. I couldn't call him to say, hey, can I borrow your keys? Because I got locked out, because I didn't have my phone with me. As I'm telling the story now, it feels like it was such a simple thing to do, but to me, in that moment, I was just, God, of all the things that could happen to me today, and out of all the people that have actually moved houses, and it happens to me. Like, girl, it was such a stressful morning. I was thinking how much time it would add, like, to the movers, because I only have them for like 2 hours. Any hour after that, I have to pay an additional cost. So, yeah. Fortunately, we were able to do it in under 2 hours, so I didn't have to pay any extra. But my God, the stress from this day. I just want to fall asleep and wake up at the end of the week. But anyway, yeah, so that happened. So when they finished hauling everything down and putting them in the van, I met them here because I couldn't ride with them because of COVID. So they made it here very quickly. Because I'm just like, if you drive, Google Maps say I'm just 10 minutes away from my old flat. And I had to take the bus, which took like 10 minutes more. So I finally caught my breath. And now I do need to go back and give Tito Dino his key back. And then I need to go back to the old flat to clean and sort some stuff out. Because I did leave some more stuff there. So that's that. I feel like I should make the bed now, just so I have a bed to like lay in. So I guess I'll do that. Okay, so I want to try this trick from TikTok on changing duvet covers. I tried it before, but it's never really worked for me. But then again, maybe I couldn't execute it properly because of the tiny space in my old bedroom. But we'll see today. had to redo that because I realized that the duvet cover has to be inside out for this to work. So I laid it out inside out and put the duvet on top of it. And just make sure that the corners all align, and fingers crossed. So the concept was there, but the execution was a bit, but I got it right. So ayan po, gusto ko na lang po matulog. But I need to return the key that I borrowed from Tito Dino and then maybe clean my room in the flat. Gusto kong humiga, sis. I think I'm gonna rest for like half an hour and then make my way to Tito Dino. But yeah.